Hello, friends. Welcome to week 3 of our Adventure Begins at Your Library summer library program. This week, we're talking about choosing your own adventure. And really, we have a lot of great books that have alternate endings or mixed up fairy tales where you'll find different adventures or different ways to end stories. But really, anytime you come to the library, you're choosing your own adventure. You might decide that you want to learn something new, like science experiments at home, or want to learn about robots, how to cook. You might be interested in learning about climbing a mountain like Mount Everest or ancient China. There are lots of different books, all sorts of things that you can choose to read about and to learn at your library. So we invite you to come to the library this summer, find books, find things that you maybe don't know about, and read to learn about them. This week, we're focusing on choosing your own adventure. So I hope you'll come to the library and choose your own adventure in books and reading. This story is Once Upon a Book by Grace Linn and Kate Messner. It was illustrated by Grace Linn and published by Little Brown and Company. And in this book, Alice is the main character, and she can go anywhere in the magical pages of her favorite book. So when the book flaps its pages and invites her to a world of wonder and adventure, she goes along until she decides that she misses her most favorite place of all. We'll find out where that is. Once Upon a Book. Notice how in this book, her dress is made of, looks like text from a book, pictures of pages of a book. Alice was tired of heavy sweaters and thick socks and staying inside with nothing to do. I wish I were someplace that wasn't so frozen and gray, she grumbled to her mother. She began to stomp away, but something flapped nearby. It was the pages of a book. Curious, Alice began to read. Can you see the book down here with the pages flapping? Once upon a time, there was a girl, Alice read. She went to a place alive with colors, where even the morning dew was warm. That sounds like our home, said the birds. Turn the page and come in. So she turns the page. She did turn the page. Do you see? This is like a tropical rainforest with all the brightly colored birds. The air felt as if it came from an oven, the book said. The girl and the birds played among the flowers. So it was very hot in this tropical rainforest where Alice went through the pages of her book. Let's see where she goes next. Then the rains came down. Oh my goodness, it's raining and raining and raining. I wish I were someplace that wasn't so steamy and drippy, Alice said. With the book over her head, Alice read. So the girl went to a place of sparkling sands where the sun would dry her. That sounds like our home, said the camels. Turn the page and come in. It looks like a desert. That's where camels live. So she did. See, it is very hot and dry there because it's a desert. The sun blazed down and dried her hair as she rode on a camel through the desert. But then a sandstorm blew in and stung the girl's face. Not only is it hot and dry, but it's also very dusty. I wish I were someplace that wasn't so dusty and dry. Then Alice read, So the girl went to a place of clear waters, where the sea would refresh her. That sounds like our home, said the fish. Turn the page and come in. So she did. Now she's in the ocean with all the beautifully colored tropical fish. She's swimming with her book. The gentle water soothed her as she swam with the fish through the coral reefs. But the girl got tangled in seaweed. She was confused and caught. I wish I were someplace that wasn't so cramped and crowded. Then Alice read, so the girl went to a place of wide open blue where she could be boundless and free. That sounds like our home, said the clouds. Turn the page and come in. So she did. Alice is up in the clouds. You see, her dress is now blue like the sky. The clouds billowed like the sails of a ship. The girl rode the wind through the sky. It's almost like Alice is a kite flying in the sky. But the clouds darkened and thunder roared. I wish I were someplace that wasn't so booming and loud, she said. So the girl went to a place with no sounds at all. Alice read, where she could be quiet and calm. That sounds like my home, said the moon. Turn the page and come in. The soundless stars twinkled and winked as she floated in the moon's glowing light. So it's quiet and she's alone in the beautiful light of the moon. But the emptiness made the girl feel alone. I wish I were someplace that wasn't so lonely, she said. So the girl went to a place of coziness and warmth, where the kitchen smelled of dumplings and her family was waiting with dinner. That sounds like my home, Alice said. Turn the page, her mother said, and come in. And so she did, and there is her family waiting to have dinner. Every time Alice turned a page in her book, she went to a different place. She went to a tropical rainforest, a coral reef, even up in the sky, to the moon, out in space. She went to a lot of different places, the desert, and every time she turned a page, it was a new adventure, just like it is every time you turn a page in a new book. This book is Wandering Around, and this is the kind of wonder where you wonder what something means, or what it looks like. It's not wandering as if you're lost. It's wondering, learning, questioning. So this is an interesting book about a child who is wandering around, written by Meg Fleming, illustrated by Richard Jones, and published by Beach Lane Books. Wonder at the window, a storm, a flash, a clap of thunder. And you see the child at the window looking out at the world with this cat, her cat. Trace the drops dot to dot. That makes a secret map. Wander down a pathway, a nest, a bog, a trail. Different adventures following all this wandering. Chick, chick, chirp, ribbit, slurp. Could that be someone's tail? Looks like a squirrel, a mouse, and a frog having a little tea party. Wander with a paddle, a swoopy loop of jade. She's at a pond, and there's a frog in the pond. You see it over here? She sees all sorts of things at the pond. Spinning swirl, water curl. Here comes the deep parade. Look at underneath the water, all the things that are there. And the boy and the girl swimming in the water, frogs and fish. Wonder underwater. Reflections trick the eye. You see the dog? See the dog looking down at himself in the water? But what does he see here? A lion. The dog sees himself and thinks it's a lion. Floating on a spool of thought, a fish might swim or fly. Wonder underneath things. It could just be a rock. Have you ever lifted a rock to see what was underneath it? You might find bugs or worms or something else. Then tiny feet become a street. Look closer, a city block. You see the ants? All the little ants and the structures, the things that they built. When we see it, we just see an anthill, but he wonders and sees a city, an ant city. Wonder at footprints. Who came? Who left? Who's there? Hide or play? I might not stay. It's wandering through the forest in snow. Oh, wait, it's just a deer. So the footprints that he sees are just a deer. Wonder way up branches at all the wings that fly. A leaf bouquet says swip, swip, sway. Wandering up in a tree and looking at all the branches and leaves. Hello, forever sky. You see all the beautiful birds. Wonder in the campfire. A pop, a streak, a light. Have you ever sat around a campfire at night, a fire, and watched it burn? Or maybe you've looked at fireworks. A crackle spark twists through the dark, repatterning the night. Could be fireworks, could be stars. Wonder out a pencil, or paint, or a stick, or brush. Look at all the things you can create. You can draw, color, paint, when you wonder. A thought, a shape, a great escape that settles in a hush. It's wondering there with the tiger and an owl and a horse. Think and blink on everything, on wing, on foot, on fin. Wander on the outside and wonder on the in. So when we wonder about things, it might cause us to read a book, try to learn more about it, and that's a great thing. So wandering around is another choose your own adventure kind of story. Hope you've enjoyed these stories.